Welcome back, students, to the second session of second interaction program of Unit 2, English Third Language. I hope you have written the answer papers correctly. Let's discuss the answer paper. Question 1, language study. You are expected to write 4 words, isn't it? Here, alphabetical order arrangement, non-cooperation, non-renewable, non-stop, non-violence. When you are changing the rearranging the words in proper alphabetical order, let me tell you, if your first word goes wrong, you will get a 0. So be very, very careful when you are arranging those words in alphabetical order. Your first word needs to be correct. If your first word is right and the first two words are right, then you get half marks. Otherwise, you still get a 0. Okay. If your first two are correct, you get half marks. And if your first 4 words, if the third is correct, fourth will automatically be right. So you get full 1 mark there. Okay. This question will appear for 2 marks in your activity sheet, final activity sheet. The second one was punctuation. Very simple. Why don't you realize the problem? Ramana said that is the answer. Here, you have to use inverted commas because that's a question. At the moment it begins with WH, you come to know that it's a question. Why don't you realize the problem? This is a question, so it ends in a question mark, and the quotation marks have to be in their place. End the sentence with the quotation mark and the question. And you will see that R is capital because it's a proper noun there. Said full stop. Then the third sentence, any correct word, the word was given, and you had to find out, you had to make new words using those letters from that single word. And the condition was that the word should be minimum 3-lettered. So here I have just given you 3-lettered, 4-lettered words. You can use any correct word there. Cat, dead, done, that I have found out from the given word, but you can find out many other words too. Then here, spot the error question. The boy turned to his right. WRIT was in the paper, and you have to make it right, make it correct. RIGHT and DURNS turns according to the statement. The verb should be agreeing to the subject. Then a meaningful sentence was asked. Your phrase was given, and you had to write a meaningful sentence about it. So I have accepted, or it will be accepted. Any meaningful sentence that you prepare will be accepted, but your sentence should have a proper subject, verb, object, complement if required, which should be meaningful too. Now, word chain: surprise, enjoy, youthful. So here there was no condition as such that you had to make a word chain of noun or verb or adverb or adjective. So it is any word you can use in a proper chain. Then the next word, what you had to do is you had to use a suffix or a prefix for the word happy and courage. So for happy, you can write happiness, or you can even write unhappy. For courage, you can write encourage or courageous. And you can use any one word. You can use the root word also, and you can use the affixed word also, like suffix, prefix added word also. You can use and make any meaningful sentence. You could have made a meaningful sentence with happy, happiness, courage, encourage, courageous. You have such a lot of choice here that you cannot miss out. Okay. And there are 2 marks for this question. So one is for using the affixation correctly, that is prefixes and suffixes correctly, therefore 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for making a meaningful sentence. It's very simple and very scoring also, this particular question. And the last question, if you work hard, dash, 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 you have to find out clause, and since it's beginning with if, it is showing you condition, it is adverb clause of condition. So 1 mark is for identifying and 1 mark is for writing the clause. Okay. So this is the language study. I hope you all have done well, the complete language study, because this is a part where you can score full 10 marks, and this is definitely going to hike your score. Okay. And there's going to be a rise in your score. Okay. Then question number 2 is scene passage. Read the given extract and do the following activities for 10 marks. You were asked to write the qualities of Stephen Hawkins. You have read the passage completely. This is a scene passage. You have already read it in school. You have read it in your online classes. You have read it on your own. If you have not read it yet, please read all the passages at home. You still have a lot of time. As a child, now see, 2 questions are given in 1 question, 2 sub-questions. As a child, what were his qualities? And as a legend, what were his qualities? So as a child, answer is full of mischief, love for music and mathematics, and as a legend, it is courageous and hopeful. If you write these from the passage, you get 2 marks. This is a simple factual question. You just have to find the facts from the passage and you have to write it down. Okay. The second question now. Find and write the symptoms and effects of the disease on Stephen. You have to write the symptoms and you have to write the effects. Again, for this, you have to read the passage. Everything is given in the passage, but here this answer is a little bit scattered. It's not given in one line. So you have to find out the symptoms first and then the effects first. Was becoming increasingly clumsy and even fell down a couple of times for no reason. And effects, what were the effects? It affected his nervous system and eventually weakens all the muscles of the body. So this is how if you write, you still again get 2 marks out of 2. Match the pair of words. Words, meanings. This is how you are expected to write. Words, meanings. Exaggeration, personification, clumsy, perplexed. Exaggeration meaning overstatement, personification, epitome, clumsy, awkward, and perplexed, confused. Okay? So you are expected to write all this in this way. If you write it in this way, many of the students I've seen they just mention the meanings, that's all. A, overstatement, B, epitome, C, awkward, and D, perplexed and confused. So you will have to see that exaggeration, personification, clumsy, first you write down these and then you mention the meanings. Is that clear? Now rewrite as instructed. What a wonderful thing courage is. You were expected to make exclamatory sentence. That courage is a wonderful thing. You had to make an exclamatory sentence. So what a wonderful thing courage is. Okay. This disease had come as a bolt from the blue. You had to use past perfect tense. So came becomes had come. Okay. So this is how you have to read the instructions carefully before you do anything in grammar, and then you have to continue. Okay. Now the next question is activity 5, personal response question. How does Stephen Hawkins inspire you? Whatever personal response question is given to you, you read the question carefully, you mention the response first. If it is an open-ended question, you have to give the response in positive or negative. Avoid giving negative responses. I don't say that it will be wrong if you give negative responses, but avoid giving negative responses because it will become very difficult for you. For people in third language, it is going to be very difficult for you to write the justification in proper sentence if you are writing a negative response. For positive response, it is easier, comparatively easier. I'm not saying that it's always easy, but comparatively it is easier to write it. And in questions like this, where you have to write the qualities that you learn of Stephen Hawkins, then find out all the qualities from the passage, add some of the qualities on your own good qualities. If you take the image of Stephen Hawkins in front of your eyes, what qualities do you find in him that you should imbibe? He was courageous, he was determined, he had faced all odds, he was so strong, he was brave. So all these are good qualities, isn't it? And he was a successful person in spite of having such a big crisis in his life. So you can write so many lines like this, and how many lines are expected here? In fact, I would talk about sentences, not lines, but it should be somewhere around 3 to 4 sentences or 35 to 40 words. Okay, arrange it properly. First write the response and then write the reason of your giving such response. Then you will get proper marks there. Now let's come to question number 3A. Read the given extract and do the following activities. 5. Okay, read the given extract and do the following activities. That is for 5 marks. This is a poem everybody knows about twins. You all have learned this poem very well, very easy. Though there are a little difficult words used here, but still it is very easy to understand. And you have only 3 questions based on the poem. And the complete extract is given to you in the paper, which you can read. You need not remember anything. You just have to read it and find out the answers. So, an activity 1 is simple factual activity where you just read and you find the words, and specifically this particular question, write 4 similarities that the twins had with each other. The first line of the poem gives you the answer in form and feature, face and limb, isn't it? So form, feature, face and limb. These 4 similarities the twins had with each other. The second question where what happened with what mistakes took place or what mishap took place with the twins, or what did they have to face. So you can write 2 incidences you had to write. So one was as we were being washed by nurse. Here, although I have mentioned the lines, children, it will be better if you mention these lines in your own word. Do not take the lines directly from the passage, from the extract. You mention it in write it in your own words. When they were being washed by nurse. If you are asked in the question, pick out the lines from the poem, then you pick it out like this. As we were being washed by nurse, this is one line. And the second line is, my brother John got christened me and I got christened him. This is how they mixed up. But if it is asked to you in the form of a question that you have to explain, then you will explain it in the third person. You will write there, when the twins were being washed by the nurse, this was the worst confusion. They got mixed up. And the second confusion was that there his brother John got christened to him and he got christened to John. Okay, this is how you are supposed to write. There are other incidences also that when he died, the neighbors came and buried brother John. That can also be one incident that can be mentioned here. And the last sentence was based on poetic devices, where you had to find out the example of alliteration. So this is an example of alliteration in form and feature, face and limb. This is an alliteration because the letter F is repeated constantly in a musical effect or to create a poetic effect. You have to write with complete explanation. Just do not mention this is an example of alliteration. We would like to know why you are saying that this is an example of alliteration. We would like to know that you are clear with the concept or you are clear with the definition of alliteration. This is an alliteration as the letter F is repeated at regular intervals to create a poetic effect. Okay, this is how you write. Then appreciation of the poem. You start dying slowly. I've written this appreciation. You are third language English people. You are expected to write an appreciation in the form of points that makes your work easier. You are not supposed to write it in paragraphs, so you don't have to frame sentences. So there is less chance of making any mistake. Now, the first 2 points of appreciation that you write is already there in the activity sheet. You have to see carefully and write. Okay. So title, you start dying slowly. Poet Pablo Neruda. The rest of the points you have to learn and you have to prepare. Okay. Central idea should be written in at least 2 sentences. At least means it can be 2 to 4 sentences. Okay. But at least 2 sentences because it carries 2 marks. Okay. The poet tells us to enjoy every moment of our life. We should follow our heart and take chances in life. Otherwise, we start dying slowly. This is the central idea. You can write it in your own words too. Okay, not necessary that you have to write only these words. The theme should come correctly, that's all. Rhyme scheme, there is no rhyme scheme, so it's called as a free verse. You need not even write, it is called as a free verse. You can just write no rhyme scheme, free verse. Okay, but just don't mention free verse there because the teachers want to know what is your concept about free verse, and therefore please mention there no rhyme scheme, so free verse. Okay, then figures of speech, alliteration, repetition, anaphora. Mention 2 or 3 figures of speech and give one example. It is not expected of you to give any explanation here, but if you give the correct example, we understand that you know the explanation already. So if you are saying here, you start dying slowly. You start dying slowly is an example of anaphora. Okay, you can even give an example of alliteration if you find one, because the poem is the extract of the poem is in front of you in the activity sheet. You can see and you can write it from there. Okay, so this is how these 5 points, correctly written 5 points, title, poet, central idea, rhyme scheme, figure of speech. While presenting it, if you want your presentation to be very neat and very good, and at a glance it should look like a point-wise appreciation, you may draw a table. You may draw a table with 2 columns. One column will contain title, poet, central idea, rhyme scheme, figures of speech, and the other column contains your answers. So if you write it in a tabular form, you will get 5 out of 5. Of course, it should be perfect without any mistake. Okay. Now then question number 4, we go towards is summary writing. Summary writing, I've given you every activity sheet because I want you all to practice for summary. I do not find that you are very good at summary, so I want you all to practice. So what are the few key points or key points that you're going to mention in your summary? The first thing that you're going to mention is title. Now, whatever passage I had given to you, according to that, if you write the summary, you have to give this title, Save Forest, Save the Earth. This is relevant to the passage that I had given in activity 2 sheet or unit 2, based on unit 2. Okay. But if you have any other paragraph, paragraph or an extract to convert it into a summary, you have to find the title from the passage. You will get the title from the passage. You will have to find any line that is very striking. You can use it as a title. Okay. So here I have used save forest and save the earth, and I have given key points here. I have not written the complete summary. In the first unit interaction I had in my answer paper, I had given you a summary, in fact, and now I find that you are good at writing a summary on your own. So I've just mentioned the key points here. Pressure on natural resources, the forest cover is reducing, plants and animal species are already extinct, and various reasons for destruction of forest and its effects. So these are the points that you're going to use in your summary. Here lies the central idea also, that the forest cover is reducing, and animal species are getting extinct. So all these things will be included in the theme. These are the key points that you are expected to write for a summary. So what should you remember for a summary? I think I should repeat what I had said to you last week also with the last interaction class, that for summary, title is a must. So if you want to score full 5 marks in a summary, the first mark goes to the title. Your title should be appropriate, should be short, it should be crisp, and it should be very, very appealing. And title, you don't have to think about, you will get it from the passage. Okay, so try to find a title out from the passage. You can reframe, you can rearrange, the structure, you can reframe the sentence, and you do not write the title in full sentence. Let it be something like a slogan: save forest, save the earth, like that, not long sentences. Okay, then your key points should come. Key points means important points. When you are reading it out, just underline with pencil the important points in the passage, because you are not expected to take the complete passage. You are not expected to copy down lines from the passage while writing a summary. You have to use your own language to compile these key points. You please do not forget to mention the central idea of the passage. When you read a particular passage, especially in the end, the central idea is given, or either in the middle or in the end. What is the passage about? What is the theme of the passage? What is the message that you get from the passage? So that message has to come in your summary, and it has to be concluded properly. It has to be written in a single paragraph, a summary of 30 to 40 words, single paragraph, properly in your own words, and a title. That is definitely going to fetch you 5 marks. Because if you write a summary like this, you will not lose any mark there. Okay. And writing skill topics now. Expand the theme was given to you. Books are our real friends. How to begin? Title you have given, books are real friends. It's already given title. Use the given points. I have not given points here, but you have to use the given points in the activity sheet. Or if the points are not given, books are our real friends, you have to just write what according to related to what anything that you any idea that you get related to the topic. Okay, topic given the top, looking at the topic, thinking about it, finding out points, preparing, generating ideas, organizing your thoughts. All these are very important when you're expanding the theme. Okay, title, use of given points, it has to be written somewhere around 80 to 100 words. I have written here 80 words, but it can be somewhere around 80 to 100 words. You can take one page, not more than that is expected from you. It's 1 page or 1.5 pages, probably maximum. And please give it a proper conclusion. Do not end any writing skill or any creative writing part abruptly. You may lose marks for that. The reader should not lose the thread of continuity till the end. It should end properly. Okay. So give it a proper conclusion. This is how you are going to write expansion of an idea. Instead of expansion of an idea, you may get many other choice also, selection of topics like report writing, etc., dialogue writing, etc. So that we'll deal with in the next sessions to come. Okay. For this session, I think these were the questions asked, and the answers were very, very clear to you, absolutely clear to you. I hope that this session is definitely going to make you think more, read more, and it'll make you more clear when you are writing the next paper. How to write the answers are very clear now. How to make a summary is very clear now. So I hope that you'll do better in your next activity test. Okay. Thank you very much.